The rain hammered against the hospital windows like angry fists, each drop a reminder that the world didn't care about broken hearts. In the sterile glow of the pediatric ICU, Jack Harlan knelt beside his 8-year-old daughter Grace, her small body swallowed by the white sheets, tubes snaking across her chest like chains. The heart monitor beeped a frantic warning, her breath shallow and wet. "Daddy, it hurts so bad," she whispered, her tiny fingers clutching his calloused hand, as if letting go meant disappearing forever. Jack's world narrowed to that grip, tears carving hot paths down his stubbled cheeks. 4 years after losing her mother, he had promised Grace the moon, but tonight the doctors had delivered the truth: urgent open heart surgery or she might not see her 9th birthday. "I'm right here, baby girl. Daddy's got you. I won't let anything take you from me," he choked out, his voice raw, the weight of every overtime shift, every skipped meal, every sleepless night crashing down. Miles away, in a glittering Manhattan loft where crystal glasses clinked and laughter sparkled like the city lights below, Sophia Bennett raised her champagne flute and delivered the line that would soon echo through both their lives with devastating force: "A single dad. Emma, please. A single dad can't impress me." If the raw ache of a father's desperate love is already wrapping around your heart like a warm blanket on the coldest night, then pause right now and tap that like button. Not because I asked, but because stories like this deserve to reach every soul searching for hope in the dark. And if this moment has stirred something deep inside you, a reminder that love and truth can rewrite even the most shattered chapters, then I invite you, from the bottom of my heart, to subscribe and stay close. Because together we'll keep uncovering these tales that prove no burden is too heavy when hearts truly connect, that the quiet heroes among us are waiting to change everything. Let the story unfold now, cinematic and unflinching, the way life itself unspools in moments of fear, tenderness, and breathtaking revelation. Sophia Bennett had spent 34 years building armor no one could pierce. As creative director at Vanguard Advertising, she commanded boardrooms with a single raised eyebrow, her campaigns launching brands into the stratosphere. Her Soho loft was all clean lines and expensive silence, white marble counters, floor to ceiling windows framing the glittering skyline, a closet bursting with tailored blazers that made her feel untouchable. Success tasted like expensive wine and late-night strategy sessions, but it came with a shadow she never named out loud. She was 8 the night her father left. She remembered the slammed door, her mother's broken sobs echoing off the peeling wallpaper of their cramped Queens apartment, the stack of unpaid bills multiplying like accusations on the kitchen table. "We'll be okay, Soph," her mom had whispered through tears while working double shifts at the diner, coming home smelling of grease and exhaustion. Sophia had vowed then, curled in her narrow bed, that she would never beg a man to stay, never let anyone's baggage drag her back to that powerless little girl. Single dads in her world were walking red flags, men whose hearts were already claimed, whose time and money and attention would always be divided. "I date adults with no complications," she told her reflection every morning. Jack Harlan's life was written in quieter ink. 36 years old, broad-shouldered from years of swinging hammers. He had once been the golden boy of a prestigious architecture firm, sketching sleek glass towers that made clients weep with possibility. Then Sarah's car had hydroplaned on a rain-slicked highway 4 years ago, taking her instantly while 8-month-old Grace survived in her car seat with nothing but nightmares and a ticking time bomb in her chest. A congenital defect, the crash had worsened. Jack had looked at his daughter in the ICU, her tiny fist wrapped around his finger, and made the only choice that mattered. He walked away from the corner office, sold the dream house they had designed together, and moved into a sun-faded 2-bedroom in Brooklyn, where the radiator clanked like an old friend. By day he built custom furniture for boutique clients, flexible hours so he could be at every school pickup, every therapy session where Grace practiced breathing through the night terrors that still woke her screaming for "Mommy." By night he sat at the kitchen table after Grace slept, sketching in a battered notebook, designs for a children's heart wing he would never afford to build, but dreamed of anyway. Sarah would be proud, he sometimes whispered to the empty chair across from him. Emma, Sophia's ride or die since freshman orientation, and Jack's across the hall neighbor for 3 years, saw the invisible thread between them. "He's not what you think, Soph," she pleaded over sushi one Tuesday, Grace is the kindest kid. Jack looks at her like she hung the stars. Just one dinner, no pressure. Sophia laughed, but Emma's persistence wore her down like water on stone. Fine, one dinner. But if he mentions diapers or custody battles, I'm out. The bistro on Blicker Street smelled of roasted garlic and warm bread when Sophia arrived in a crimson dress that turned heads. She ordered a glass of Barolo and checked emails, armor firmly in place. Jack walked in at exactly 7, hair still damp from a quick shower after a long shift, wearing a navy button. Down that strained gently across his shoulders. He carried no bravado, just a quiet smile and a small bouquet of daisies. Grace picked these from the park this morning, he said, handing them over. She said yellow is for brave ladies. His voice was low, warm, the kind that made you lean in without meaning to. They talked easily at first. Favorite films, she loved sharp-witted dramas. He admitted to knowing every line of The Lion King by heart. Travel dreams Paris for her fashion weeks. The Grand Canyon for his stargazing trips with Gracie. He listened when she described landing the night campaign, eyes genuinely bright. But when the Nokia arrived and he pulled out his phone to show a photo, Grace mid-giggle on a swing, curls flying. Sophia felt the familiar wall slam down. She's beautiful, she managed. The rest of the evening passed in polite conversation, but when Jack walked her to her Uber and suggested they do it again, something in his hopeful eyes made her hesitate before saying yes. Later that night, curled on her couch with a glass of wine, Sophia called Emma. He's sweet, Em, funny. But let's be honest, a single dad can't impress me. His whole life revolves around that little girl. I can't be someone's second choice. I won't, Emma sighed. Not every story is your dad's. Soft. 2 weeks later, Emma orchestrated the casual park meetup. Autumn light filtered through the trees in Central Park, leaves crunching underfoot like golden confetti. Grace spotted Sophia first and ran over, pigtails bouncing. Push me super high. Daddy only goes to the clouds, but you look like you can reach the stars. Sophia laughed despite herself, the chain cool in her palms as she sent the swing soaring. Grace's giggles were infectious, pure sunlight. Jack watched from the picnic blanket, the tension in his shoulders easing for the first time in months. They ate peanut butter sandwiches Jack had packed. Grace's favorite, extra jelly. And Grace drew a picture of the three of them holding hands under a rainbow. This is my new family, she announced matter of factly, handing it to Sophia. The paper trembled in Sophia's fingers. That afternoon cracked something open in her. Over the following weeks, the cracks widened. Movie nights at Jack's apartment, where Grace fell asleep between them during Frozen, her head heavy and trusting on Sophia's lap. Saturday mornings at the farmer's market, Grace negotiating for extra apples while Jack's hand brushed Sophia's as they carried bags. One rainy Tuesday, Sophia stayed late helping Grace with a science project on hearts, cardboard valves and red yarn arteries, while Jack made spaghetti. When Grace hugged her goodnight and whispered, "I wish you were here every night," Sophia felt her throat close. But the shadows never fully left. Sophia's flashbacks came at 3 a.m. her mother crying over the electric bill, the way the fridge light looked so empty. Jack's exhaustion was visible too. Dark circles from double shifts, the way he rubbed his shoulder after carrying Grace up 3 flights when the elevator broke. "I can help with the medical bills," Sophia offered one evening after Grace's checkup. Jack's jaw tightened. "This is my fight, Soph. I won't let you carry my load." Sarah and I promised each other we'd give Grace everything on our own terms. Their first real argument happened on a sleet, gray November evening. Jack had canceled their dinner plans because Grace's anxiety flared after a nightmare. Sophia arrived anyway, takeout in hand, only to find him rocking Grace on the couch, singing the lullaby Sarah used to sing. "I can't keep waiting on the sidelines." "Jack," Sophia said when Grace finally slept, "I feel like I'm auditioning for a role that's already filled. A single dad can't impress me when it means I'm always the one left waiting." Jack's eyes filled with pain. "I'm not asking you to audition, I'm asking you to see us. The whole package. But if that's too much, I understand." She left without kissing him goodbye, the door clicking shut like a period at the end of a sentence she wasn't ready to write. The days that followed were hollow. Sophia buried herself in work, her campaigns crisp but soulless. Jack worked 16-hour days, selling his late mother's necklace to cover another specialist copay. Grace asked for Sophia every bedtime, her small voice cracking Jack's heart wider. Then the crisis exploded. It was a Thursday afternoon when the school nurse called. Grace had collapsed during recess, chest clutching, lips blue. Jack raced from the job site, arriving at the ER as they wheeled her into the ICU. The diagnosis hit like a freight train. The defect had ruptured a valve. Surgery within 48 hours or the risk became fatal. Cost estimates scrolled on the tablet the administrator handed him. $230,000 after insurance. Jack sat in the plastic chair, head in hands, the fluorescent lights buzzing like judgment. "Sarah, help me," he whispered. Sophia got the call from Emma at 2 a.m. She drove through empty streets, heart hammering, arriving to find Jack alone in the waiting room, staring at the floor. She sat beside him without a word, their shoulders touching. Nurses updating on oxygen levels, other parents crying in corners, the clock's merciless tick. At 4:17 a.m., as dawn bled gray through the blinds, Jack reached into his wallet with shaking hands and pulled out a faded envelope, edges soft as tissue. "I need you to know who I really am," he said, voice barely above a whisper. 15 years ago, I was 21, fresh out of architecture school, first real paycheck burning a hole in my pocket. Sarah was a nurse at Mercy General then. We weren't married yet, but she was already my everything. She told me about this single mom who'd had a massive heart attack. No insurance, 2 jobs, a 12-year-old daughter who sat by the bed every single day after school, reading stories, taping drawings to the wall so her mom would wake up smiling. The bill was crushing them. I didn't know their names, but something about that little girl fighting for her mother. I used my entire bonus to pay it anonymously. The hospital forwarded a thank you letter the mom wrote. He unfolded the paper, yellowed and creased from years of being carried everywhere. Sophia's breath stopped as she read the familiar handwriting. "To the angel who saved my life and my daughter's future. Because of you, I got to watch her graduate college, chase her dreams, become the strong woman I always knew she could be. I will never stop being grateful." Anna Bennett, the tears blurred the words. "That was us," Sophia whispered, voice breaking. "I was that 12-year-old girl. Mom almost died the year Dad left for good. We had nothing. The doctors said it was a miracle donor. She always called him our guardian angel." Jack's eyes met hers, raw and open. "When Emma said your last name, I suspected. But I never told you because I didn't want gratitude or pity. I've kept paying it forward ever since, quietly funding a foundation in Sarah's name for single parents facing medical disasters. That's why my savings are gone. That's why I live simply. I gave up the big career so I could have time to help families like yours. Like ours now. A single dad might not impress the world with money or status, but I've tried to live a life that matters. And meeting you, loving you, it feels like the universe finally letting me see the little girl I helped all those years ago, grown into the woman who saved me right back." Sophia crumbled into his arms, sobs tearing from her chest as years of armor shattered. "I was so blind, Jack. You didn't just impress me. You saved my family before I even knew your name. You've been the hero in my story all along." Dawn broke fully as the surgeon arrived with news. An anonymous major donor, later revealed as Sophia rerouting her year-end bonus through Vanguard's charity arm, had covered every cent. The surgery lasted 7 hours. Jack and Sophia paced the waiting room together, hands locked, trading memories. Her mother's survival stories, his late-night sketches for the heart wing he still hoped to build. When the doctor finally emerged, mask down, smiling, "She's stable. She's going to be okay." Grace woke in recovery, asking for both of them. "Daddy, Sophia, are we all home now?" Sophia kissed her forehead, tasting salt and hope. "Yes, sweetheart. We're all home." The months that followed were a slow, beautiful unwinding. Sophia moved some clothes into the Brooklyn apartment, then more, until her loft felt like a place she visited for work. She learned to braid Grace's hair, to make peanut butter sandwiches with extra jelly, to sit through night terrors stroking her back until the trembling stopped. Jack returned to his notebook, sketching the children's heart center with new fire. And Sophia's connections turned those sketches into grant proposals that actually got funded. Her mother flew down for Thanksgiving, took one look at Jack, and pulled him into a hug that lasted minutes. "You were our miracle," she whispered. "Now you're my daughter's." On a crisp spring evening in the same park, where Grace had first swung into Sophia's heart, Jack got down on one knee beneath the blooming cherry trees. Grace held the ring box, bouncing with excitement. "Sophia Bennett, you saw the man behind the struggles. You loved us when it was hard. Will you let us love you for the rest of forever? Sophia said yes through happy tears, and Grace cheered loud enough for the whole park to hear. Their wedding was small and perfect. String lights in the backyard of the new house Jack designed, Grace's flower girl scattering petals in confidence. Sophia's mom walked her down the aisle. Emma caught the bouquet. Vows were spoken with cracked voices and full hearts. Jack promising to keep choosing them every day. Sophia promising to never again let fear dim the light they built together. Years later, on a warm summer porch swing, with Grace now a confident teenager and their adopted baby boy napping in Jack's arms, Sophia rested her head on her husband's shoulder. I once said a single dad couldn't impress me, she murmured, watching fireflies dance. But you didn't just impress me, Jack. You taught me that the deepest love isn't loud or perfect. It's the quiet choice to show up, to sacrifice, to carry someone else's dreams alongside your own. You showed me that truth can heal every scar. And so the story closes, but its truth lingers. Never judge the quiet strength walking beside you. The single dad pushing the swing, the exhausted parent at midnight, the one who seems to have nothing left to give. They may be carrying miracles you cannot yet see. Open your heart anyway. Let the unexpected truth change everything. Because in the end, love isn't about who has the least baggage. It's about who helps you carry yours and turns the weight into wings. If this story has settled into your bones and reminded you to look closer at the heroes around you, carry that gentleness into your own life. Share it with someone who needs to hear that no one is too broken to be loved. And remember, the truth always finds its way home.